Hey guys, welcome to DevOps School. In this video tutorial, we are going to learn about Kubernetes. Kubernetes is developed by Google and it is an open source platform that automates container operations. It eliminates many of the manual processes involved in deploying and scaling containerized applications. After going through this tutorial, I promise you that the concept and understanding of the Kubernetes will be absolutely clear to you.
But before that, let me ask you a few things. Are you dreaming of a career with higher pay and more responsibilities? Or are you ready to take your skills to the next level this year? Then start investing in DevOps School certification level courses which will help you to emerge skills for a wide range of entry level roles and as well as higher potential future positions. But with thousands of courses online and in classroom worldwide, finding the right one for your career goals can be difficult. You can consider our courses like Agile Developer, Agile QA, DevOps Certified Professionals, Site Reliability Engineering, DevSecOps, and Masters in DevOps Engineering, where you will have access to well-structured, easy-to-follow course content that has been developed and will be delivered by industry professionals. You can join on our training programs globally through online platforms, and if you are looking for classroom workshops, then we have regular sessions available in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi NCR, Mumbai, and in Pune. Simply compare our many courses, find the one that suits your style and schedule best, and start today.
So now we are going to discuss about what is pod. Correct? So let's understand what is pod. Guys, look at this image, very important image. This is the whole evolution of the compute from last 20 years. So if you look at this, VMware or let's say VirtualBox or something like that, hypervisor, typically we call it hypervisor. So they manage what? They manage what? They manage what? Anyone? VMs, right? Hypervisor manages the virtual machines. Docker manage what? VMware manage the VMs. Docker manage the container. So same way, guys, Kubernetes manage the pod. Yes. Similarly, VMs managed by hypervisor. Container is managed by Docker. So on same line, Kubernetes manage pod. Okay. Now, second statement. VMs, you have operating system. Think about it. Container, you have a image root file system plus app. Pod has container. Are you correlating this stuff? Now, VM is running as long as PID1 is running, which is system D. Container is running as long as your PID1 is running, which can be anything. Pod is running as long as container inside the pod is running. Container or containers, all containers, not one, all containers is running. So what is pod? Pod is an atomic unit of scheduling for the compute services in Kubernetes. This slide is okay, guys? Are you able to understand?
Yes, okay. Rajesh, if one container stops, can we consider as pod is not working?
Pod is not working. One container is not running, pod is not working, not stable. Got it? It's not running, not healthy. Got it, guys?
Yes, Rajesh.
Okay. So guys, see here, pod has containers. That means container always run inside a pod. Pod can have a multiple containers. Pod share all the network state, kernel namespaces and all. So here, that is shared with the pod. That means all containers in a pod share the pod environment. Yeah. All containers in pod share the pod environment. Look at this. This is called tight coupling. This is called tight coupling. See, two container is there in the same pod. One is database, one is application. This is called loose coupling. One pod, one container. These pods are connected with each other through the pod network. You tell me why this is wrong and why this is right. Tell me.
If one
Yeah,
goes wrong, then obviously everything will get down.
Yeah.
But here we can get only the respective part.
Any other reason, guys? Any other reason? So here,
When we tightly couple, in case if database is also in one of the containers, we don't want to lose data.
no, it's not database, sir. It's the Nginx.
Okay.
So here you understand the concept of container. We use container because we want to save CPU and RAM. Here you are running 5 Nginx in one pod. So first of all, why you are running 5 Nginx? Because ultimately, all the Nginx you cannot run on the same port. You have to change the port. Though you can run it by changing the port, but only one will be accessible through the load balancer. No. So 4 containers is just a waste. It's just a waste for you. That way. So when we have a pod and 2 containers, first container, the main one, the first one, we call it main container. And second container, we call it sidecar container. Okay, that is the second container. See here, main container and side container, all containers share the network IPC mount and everything which is associated with the pod. That's called pod environment. Pod can be scaled. That means you have one pod, you can get as many pods. So when you scale from one pod to another pod, initial state is pending, then running. So see here, when the pod is see the container color, container is not created so far, not ready, so pod is a pending state. Container is running, pod is running state. Container is failed, so pod is succeeded and failed state. So this is a pod life cycle. So always pod to use it, their container should be running. So pod is running, so you can access it. You see here, there's one pod 1 has 2 container. If you want to run both the container, you have to have a different IP, a port number. So inside that they are running main container running on 80 port, supporting container running on 5000 port. From outside they can access through the pod network, IP address of pod and port number. Okay. See that. If you want to connect from the one pod to another pod, you can use the pod network IP address. IP address is given by Which component? I forgot actually. IP address to the pod, which components give is assigned?
Proxy.
qproxy.
Queue proxy. Yeah, queue proxy. See here. This is the inter-pod communication. This is the intra-pod communication. So if you want to have a two container inside a pod and you want to talk to each other, you can talk through the local host. But from outside, pod network. So what is a pod? So guys, pod has one or more containers. It's your application or service. This is the most basic unit of work in Kubernetes. It's a unit of scheduling. That means if you want to schedule something in Kubernetes, this is the unit pod. By the way, pods are inferal. That means once the pod is gone, it's gone forever. There is no stop or something. It's gone, so gone. Created, running, gone forever. It's a pod is inferal. The same pod, you cannot get it again. So they are there or not? Simple reason. Simple way. What is a pod? So pods, Kubernetes job is to keeping your pod running. More specifically, keeping the desired state, health, and happiness. So Kubernetes responsibility is to keep your pod running, not yours responsibility. What is your responsibility? You have to just declare, I want this pod with this image. The image should be good, okay? Container is running, pod is running, container is not running, pod is not running. Whose responsibility to run the container? Yours. Because you have to develop an image and you have learned already how to develop an image. So guys, when you want to deploy pods, how can you deploy? So they are, see here. You write a YAML or JSON and kind is equal to pod. And you get a one pod. But if you want a multiple pod, what you do? See, when you use the kind, then it's exactly one pod. But once you have a multiple pod, okay, once you want a multiple pod, let's say 2,000-3,000 pod, then what you will do? Then there is one more API resources we will use, that's called replication controller. So using the pod API, you can create one pod. But using the replication controller API, you can create n number of pods. So now there is one more object which you can see, and that is deployment. So you must be wondering, why do we have a deployment? So guys, deployment is basically an extension of replication controller. That means deployment using, you can get as many pod you wanted, one same time rollback and rollout feature also. So these are the three objects typically most of the time we use it: pod, replication controller, deployment. One pod, multiple pod, replication controller, multiple pod plus rollout plus rollback, deployment. Okay guys, so did you understand all of it? Service, I'll explain it to you later. So this is the deployment. See here. This is the replication controller. Look at this. You declare in the YAML how many? 4. How many pod you got it? 4. See, scheduler assign the work, place the work equally, properly. 1 pod.
Rajesh, how do we define using that YAML file to have 2 pods in one node?
I'll show you that YAML things I have not got. I'm trying to make you comfortable. Doing the things is damn simple and easy also. So I will teach you. Okay. Now this is the deployment. Deployment has a replication controller feature also, rollout and rollback feature also. So this is deployment. So guys, let's do the little bit of recap. See, this is the master node. Master node has a 4 important component. Master manager node. Master can be HA, multi-master cluster. First component is API server of master. Second component is cluster store. Third component is controller manager. And fourth component is scheduler. Now node has a 3 component: kubelet, which is a main Kubernetes agent, container engine, Docker or RKT, and kubeproxy, which is a Kubernetes networking. These are the objects we need to learn. Pod, which is atomic unit of scheduling. Replication controller object, scaling pod, desire, and many pods you want to get it. Deployment and services. So guys, so far we have understood the architecture well. After that, it's not very difficult. Most of the things is very simple. Any questions so far?
Can you please explain that again, like, keeping all parts in a single,
Keeping all pods?
in a single container versus, individual containers, right?
No. Your question, tell me your question, I'm not able to understand.
No, you asked us, right? Keeping all parts in a single container is good, or having individual.
No, you are saying opposite. I said all containers in a pod. Okay, you're talking about this image?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So see here, Nginx typically runs on 80 port.
Correct.
So first thing what happens when you run a
here you need to say that at any point of time you will give a single port, so all other are identical.
right, yeah.
That's what you want to say?
I'll put it in this way. Your laptop.
Separate with port, so we can make use of all Nginx.
Right.
Keeping differences. Yeah.
Okay. More questions, guys?
Thanks for watching. If you liked our Kubernetes session so far, please enroll for our channel membership $399 plan to get access of all the parts. Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps-related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest.
Thanks for watching.